friend. Pull up a chair and make yourself comfortable. Imagine we are gathered together, a warm cup of coffee in hand, with our Bibles open before us. The world outside can be so loud, can't it? Full of competing voices, endless demands, and confusing directions. It can feel like we are standing at a busy intersection with 1,000 different signs, each one pointing to a different path. But here, in this quiet moment, we can find a place of peace. We can listen to a different voice, a voice of gentle wisdom that has echoed through the ages, offering a simpler, more profound way to live. This is the voice we find in the Psalms. Today, we turn to the very first page of this incredible book of songs and prayers. We open our hearts to Psalm 1. This psalm is like a friendly gatekeeper standing at the entrance of a beautiful garden. It doesn't shout or demand. Instead, it gently points us toward two very different paths. It's a roadmap for the soul, a simple guide for a happy life. It sets the stage for everything that follows in the Psalms. It tells us right from the start that our choices matter. The small steps we take each day lead us to a final destination. God, in His great love, wants to show us the way to true joy and lasting peace. This psalm is a gift. It's a promise from a loving Father. He says, "Let me show you how to be truly blessed." The word blessed here means more than just a fleeting moment of happiness. It means a deep, abiding joy, a state of flourishing, of being truly content and secure, no matter what storms may come our way. It's the kind of happiness that sinks deep into our bones and doesn't wash away with the morning tide. It's a life that is sturdy, strong, and full of purpose. And the secret to this life, this blessed life, is found in the choices we make every single day. Think of it like this. You wouldn't ask for directions from someone who is hopelessly lost themselves, would you? You would seek out someone who knows the way, someone who has traveled the road and knows the destination. Psalm 1 invites us to get our directions from the ultimate source of wisdom, God Himself. It asks us to consider who we listen to. Whose advice do we follow? Do we listen to the noisy crowd, the shifting opinions of the world? Or do we lean in and listen to the steady, loving whisper of our Creator? This is the first step on the path to a truly blessed life. Psalm 1 lays out two very clear and distinct roads. There is no middle ground, no confusing side street. There is the way of the righteous and the way of the wicked. The psalm begins by describing the person who is blessed, the one who walks the right path. It says, "This person does not walk in the counsel of the wicked." This means they don't take their life advice from those who ignore God. They don't fill their minds with ideas that lead away from goodness and truth. It's a conscious choice to turn away from cynical or harmful philosophies and instead seek out what is pure and right. Next, it says the blessed person does not stand in the way of sinners. Picture this as more than just a casual stroll. Standing implies a pause, a moment of consideration. It means not lingering where wrong things are happening, not becoming comfortable in environments that compromise our values. It's about being careful where we plant our feet. If we constantly surround ourselves with temptation or negativity, it is only a matter of time before we begin to drift in that direction. The righteous person intentionally moves away from these places, choosing instead to stand on solid, holy ground. Then, the psalm tells us the blessed person does not sit in the seat of mockers. Sitting is a position of rest and belonging. It means we have settled in and made ourselves at home. Mockers are those who scoff at God, who ridicule faith, and who treat sacred things with contempt. To sit with them is to join in their chorus of cynicism. The blessed person refuses this seat. They choose not to make a home among those who tear down and belittle. They protect their heart from the poison of mockery and choose instead the company of the encouraging and the faithful. So we see a progression here, don't we? From walking to standing to sitting. It's a slow fade, a gradual drift from the right path to the wrong one. It starts with listening to the wrong advice, then lingering in the wrong places, and finally settling down with the wrong crowd. But the blessed person avoids this slide altogether. Instead of following this path, they delight in something else entirely. They find their joy in the law of the Lord. They fill their minds and hearts with God's word. This is their map, their guide, their constant companion on the journey. The psalm gives us two powerful images to help us understand the outcome of these two paths. It's a beautiful and simple contrast that we can all picture in our minds. First, let's look at the righteous person. The psalm says, "This person is like a tree planted by streams of water." Think about that for a moment. This isn't a wild tree, struggling for survival in a dry desert. It is a tree that has been intentionally planted in the perfect spot. It has a constant, life-giving source of water flowing right to its roots. This is a picture of security and stability. Because this tree is nourished by the stream, it is healthy and strong. It yields its fruit in its season, and its leaf does not wither. This means its life is productive. It bears good things, love, joy, peace, kindness. Its life makes a positive difference in the world. And it is resilient. Even when the weather is hot and dry, its leaves stay green because its roots go deep to the source of life. This is a picture of a person whose soul is nourished by God's word. In good times and bad, they remain vibrant and strong because they are connected to God. Now let's look at the other image. The psalm says the wicked are not so. They are completely different. They are like chaff that the wind drives away. What is chaff? It's the worthless, papery husk that is separated from the valuable grain during threshing. It's light, empty, and rootless. It has no substance and no stability. As soon as a gust of wind comes, it is blown away, scattered without purpose or direction. It has no value and no permanent place. This is a powerful picture of a life lived apart from God. This image of chaff shows a life without foundation. It may look fine on the surface for a while, but there are no deep roots to hold it steady when the winds of trouble blow. It is a life driven by passing trends, fleeting desires, and the shifting opinions of the crowd. It lacks real substance and lasting purpose. So we have a choice. Do we want our lives to be like the strong, fruitful, and enduring? It lacks real substance and lasting purpose. So we have a choice. Do we want our lives to be like the strong, fruitful, and enduring tree? Or do we want to be like the light, empty, and scattered chaff? The psalm makes the choice very clear. One life is full of purpose and strength, while the other is empty and lost. The final verses of Psalm 1 bring us to the ultimate conclusion. They explain why the two paths end in such different destinations. It all comes down to a simple, profound truth. For the Lord watches over the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked will perish. This is the heart of the matter. God is personally invested in the lives of those who follow him. The phrase watches over is so tender. It means he knows, he cares for, he guards, and he guides the path of his children. He is with them every step of the way. This is not a promise of a life without challenges. The strong tree still endures the heat of summer and the storms of winter. But its connection to the stream of water, its connection to God, ensures that it will not only survive but thrive. In the same way, when we choose God's path, he doesn't promise us a life free from difficulty. But he does promise his presence, his strength, and his guidance. He promises that our lives will have meaning and purpose, and that whatever we do will prosper in the truest sense of the word. Our lives will bear good fruit. In contrast, the way of the wicked will perish. This doesn't necessarily mean a sudden, dramatic end. It often means a life that slowly fades into meaninglessness. A life built on the sand of selfishness and godlessness will eventually crumble. Without God as the foundation, there is no lasting security, no ultimate hope, and no final victory. The path that seems easy and appealing at first leads to a dead end. It leads to being scattered like chaff, a life that ultimately amounts to nothing of eternal value. The Lord knows this, and in his love, he warns us. So, my friend, the invitation of Psalm 1 is before us today. It is an invitation to choose wisdom. It is an invitation to plant our lives by the stream of God's word. Let us choose to delight in his truth. Let us meditate on it day and night, allowing it to sink deep into our souls and nourish our roots. Let's turn away from the empty advice of the world and find our joy in him. Choose the path of the tree. Choose the life that is blessed, fruitful, and secure in the loving care of God. This is the secret to a truly happy and successful life. It is the way of wisdom, and it is open to us all.